I wasn't going to touch on this topic because I know that there's plenty other bloggers who will, but I just happened to watch a video that Poetic Flacco did on the passing of Mana Duke, and Old Black Youngin. And I just noticed something. This guy, he wants to be DJ Academics so bad. He brought up the fact that there's ops, Mana Duke's ops, and Old Black's ops in general that are posting things, disrespecting them, dissing them, dissing the DEAD. And I said to myself, this guy ain't never walked the streets a day in his life. There's three things that a person would have to be able to understand what the streets are really about: common sense, street smarts, and that means being mentored by an older person from the streets, and book smarts. You have to incorporate all three of those things. Why am I saying that? Because the story's coming out now that Old Black Youngin and Mana Duke was at a party for Gleesh. It was his birthday. And as they exited this party, they were ambushed. But there was also reports saying that there was someone outside with a shiesty on, pacing. Now, when you have street smarts, common sense, those two things, and you see someone outside, or someone comes and tell you there's someone outside pacing with a shiesty on, that's going to be an immediate red flag, and everybody's going to be on defense. They're going to send a decoy out before they come out to see if the dude is still there. And it's going to be, this is something that you have to know if you're going to be out there in these streets. You have to be able to anticipate when danger is about to confront you. And those around you, they have to know too. So you got all these uneducated people in the streets that just believe that the streets is just about taking people out and shooting at people and robbing people. No, it incorporates much more than that if you want to live. Now, I've been watching this go on for a long time. I had to step back because it was really bothering me. It seems like everybody just sat back and was entertained by a whole generation being wiped out, and not even caring enough to get to the core of it to say, what can we do to make sure this never happens again? So most of us was thinking that the rest of the guys that were out there on either side, they're all laid back now chilling, because damn near everybody is gone. And here goes Poetic Flacco speaking on this topic with Mana Duke and Old Black Youngin, and he says his ops are saying something and he's pointing at 63rd Street. Who are you to point at 63rd Street? See, Poetic Flacco doesn't have any of those three things that I mentioned, except probably book smarts. He doesn't have street smarts and not much common sense. Why do I say he don't have common sense? Because he came into this sector under the guise of Adam 22, and Adam 22 is not connected to this sector. His only connection to this sector is money. He doesn't care. So this is who he came in under. And in order for him to look like he knows something, or to make it seem like, he's the connoisseur, he's the one that can give you all the right information, they get up there and they say these things with a good monotone and good diction, and everybody believes them. So I see a lot of people pointing out different groups of people out there saying that they may be responsible, when you don't know who the hell is responsible. You don't know if it might not even have to do with any long-standing beef, because no details have come out to prove that. So what that tells me is that they're just up here just saying any old damn thing to get notoriety, to make it seem like they know what they're talking about, and to get a check. And that pisses me off, because it seems like they want to reignite this problem that was going on and this back and forth of these young men taking each other out so that they could report on it, because you could tell that Poetic Flacco wants to be the next DJ Academics. And DJ Academics reported on all of this, named it the war in Chirac, and after he made his money, I didn't hear him say a peep about none of those guys again. It's just they're gone and that's it. But to those of us who care, every time this happens, it takes you back to all of them that you remember. It gives you back that same feeling, comes right back again. So not only are some of these bloggers that don't give a shit about these young men responsible for perpetuating these images and feeding this type of behavior, but those of you who are thirsty for entertainment and not looking at these people as human beings are also at fault. Now, I don't have much to say because there's really nothing much that I can say. But what I can say is I would really like to see this end. And I would really like to see those who did survive be able to grow up and mature enough to turn around and talk to the rest of the youth and let them know their pain because they're walking around here with PTSD. Even people that never stepped foot in Chicago that watched all of this, unknowingly, they are also suffering from PTSD. I know I am. That was a very scary thing to watch a whole generation wipe each other out and nobody seemed to care. It was entertainment. And let me say this too. The way these people work, your real ops that's out there that you don't understand or care about, they will let them wipe each other out and take out every single name that's left that has any type of influence because they're getting ready to regentrify. They're going to start building big establishment, commercial businesses in the hoods, and that's when y'all going to see things are changed. If the bike lanes are coming, then you know it's coming, y'all. Even the bloggers that's from Chicago that would have way more knowledge is not pointing fingers at who did this and who did it, who's responsible for it or where it came from. They're not doing that. They're just reporting on the fact that these two young men was taken out while they were attending a celebration for one of their friends for their birthday and speaking on the history of these people. But they're not out there pointing fingers. So who are these people to be out there pointing fingers at who's responsible and who's not? I just wanted to speak on that because it just really bothered me. Rest in peace to Duke Duke and O Block Youngin. And it's just sad that this is still continuing to happen. Mind you, there's some people that still may have to face karma. There's nothing we can do about that. But these bloggers that's out here that have no connection to these youth, that's out here reporting on this stuff and pointing fingers, y'all need to check them. Peace and love.